Call them at 817-991-0523 or reach them on the web at www.acceleratedgraphics.net. They are loud and proud and want to serve you. Accelerated Graphics.
Fast Track Student Loans can get your student loans out of default, stop any wage garnishments, stop collection calls, and stop seizure of your tax refund. Give yourself a break. Stop the stress and get your student loan payments down to as little as $25 a month based on what you can afford to pay. 800-709-4395, 800-709-4395, 800-709-4395, 800-709-4395.
Why have thousands of aspiring authors teamed up with Christian Faith Publishing to publish their book? Because Christian Faith Publishing is an author-friendly publisher who understands that your labor is more than just a book. We provide authors freedom and flexibility throughout the publishing process, professional book editing, award-winning design, and some of the highest royalty structures in the publishing industry. And as always, you will retain 100% of the rights to your book.
I was looking to find a company that I could trust, one that assisted in the editing process completely.
The most important qualities that I was looking for was a publisher who was honest and upfront, no hidden costs or fees, and owning the rights to my own work.
Christian Faith Publishing will publish, market, and sell your books in all major bookstores, online booksellers, as well as specialty Christian bookstores. Call for your free author submission kit.
800-978-4812. 800-978-4812. 800-978-4812. That's 800-978-4812.
Out of deck carpet giving you the blues? Tired of your old dingy and broken tile? Let my friends at the Floor Store in Cleveland, Texas give your home the makeover it deserves. This is Old Taco Joe coming to you for the Floor Store. Whether it's carpet, tile, wood flooring, or real wood laminate, the Floor Store can cover all of your flooring needs. Located at 405 West Henderson Street in Cleveland, Texas, owner Brent Harris can help. Shower tile, tub surrounds, even backsplashes. Give them a call today at 817-641-9444. The Floor Store, they've got you covered.
You're listening to Joco Community Radio.
Hello, Jobfather Nation. We are so honored to have you here with us. Thank you for joining us. Joco Community Radio. Yeah, Joco Community Radio is proud to be the voice of Johnson County, Texas, and is live 365 on the TuneIn Radio Network. To listen or watch, simply go to tuneinjoco.com to choose where and how. You can also go to your Android or your Apple or Android iOS device store and download the app if that's easiest for you to listen to Joco Community Radio at any time. This episode and more is brought to you by Patriot Claims, making your insurance work for you. We are excited to be here today. Before we get started, let's bow our heads for a quick prayer. Father God, we are so excited to serve you and help the Job Seeker Network, those, whether they're in career transition or seeking for new opportunities at this point in time. We just pray, Lord God, you would use us to advise and build knowledge in a helpful, meaningful way. Please open doors of opportunity for those in the job search or career transition. We thank you, Lord. In your name we pray. Amen. Well, Foster, yet another Friday, but we've got yet another great show. I'm excited for today. Yeah. Share with us a little bit about who we have joining us.
Well, I see somebody down there with a Tennessee orange. So guys,
that's not all.
Y'all see that? Let me get this straight while we're talking about it. Y'all see that?
God, here we go.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So guys, that's what it's all about. We have fun on this show. Now, this show is designed to help job seekers. Loads of job seekers are listening to us right now because Dana and I told everybody last Friday that we're going to be here this Friday.
That's right.
So guess what? Here we is.
Yeah. And
So-
it looks, and Foster, we've got some great participants. Kathy Dickinson, Carrie Knoll,
Ooh.
and
hey,
Julie
Kathy.
Woods.
My main man, Carrie Noel. Check him out. Wow.
Hey,
Julie.
y'all.
And Julie was with us last week. So, guys, we are today. Dana asked me a question, and I need to go back and answer Dana's question. We've got Patty Revis with me now. Patty Revis is a tremendous recruiter. She's been recruiting for a long time. We do that HR thing. We do the recruiting thing. Patty, honestly, I have known Patty for a little bit more than half of my life.
Wow.
You are more, my friend. You are more than 32. But Foster's right. We have known each other for about 16 years, Foster. That's insane. How'd that happen?
I'm afraid it's a little bit longer than that, my friend. But
oh my golly.
But you know what? It's so funny. Patty and I have been jabbing at each other because about our orange. And see, I wear the right orange. I got the burn orange, right? And so Patty is a UT. She's a Tennessee. So they're UT as well. So, you know, I am a fan of I didn't go to UT, but I'm a fan. My cousin married Earl Campbell, so I don't have any choice. So, but anyway, guys, we've got Patty Revis with Unity One today. She's going to tell us all about Unity One. And, you know, Patty is looking to hire a couple of positions. So we're going to be talking about that today.
4.
And Mary Mondie is going to join. Oh, good.
4. We're going to talk about 4 jobs. Yep.
We got more than 4 job seekers that are listening in. Hey, Nosa. Man, Nosa talked the other day. And so, you know what? We're going to learn about Unity One today. And then Mary Mondie is going to join us a little bit later on. And she's a project manager. And honestly, her background looks very similar to our hype lady, Mez. And Mez and I were talking about that yesterday. So we'll have a good talk with Mary about the direction that she would like to go in and how we can apply her skills in corporate America. So you corporations, get ready. Craig Fry, good morning. Craig is with us. I know Jason Hopper's out there somewhere. Guys, I always like to mention Jason Hopper. He is a coach over at the Jewish Family Services of Dallas. You can find information on Jewish family. You don't have to be Jewish, y'all. I can even get in there.
Jason's been on our show.
He's been on our show, and he will continue to be on our show moving forward. I'm glad you said that, Dana. Jason, guys, go check out the website. jfsdallas.org. JFS, Jewish Family Services, jfsdallas.org. David Rico, good morning. David's my man, 50 grand.
Hey, Rico.
Hey, David. And anyway, so here's what I like to do, guys. I'm going to try to do some housekeeping here. We're going to talk really quick, and then I'm going to get to Patty. We're going to talk really quick about some landings that we have, Dana. This week, we don't have as many. It surprised me. We don't have as many landings as we have been noticing, but we've got a good 2 or 3 of them here that I'm going to take the time to say something about. And hey, Darby Crane, she landed at JD Marketing Partners. She's a customer success manager. So she handles all the clients and stuff at JD Marketing Partners. Starting out, I think she started Monday. And Christy Hughes started a new position as an administrative office specialist as Indie Cover. And Dave Templeman, my man, Dave. All right, he started at Turnberry Solutions, guys. And he's a technical recruiter. So Dana and I we like to mention when somebody lands a job as a recruiter. I think that kind of makes sense for us, doesn't it? Anyway.
Yeah.
Also, so congratulations, all of you guys. Yeah. Go ahead, Dana. I'm sorry.
No, you know what? That was my fault, Foster. Also, I forgot to mention in the very beginning that we are blessed to have our project manager and wonderful Meg Rose Caterio, Mez.
Absolutely.
Yep, she keeps us grounded every week. She keeps us in line and makes sure that we're ready for the show. So we wanted to just do a quick shout out to thank Mez.
Yeah,
And
thanks,
we love
Mez.
when she joins us. She gets to join us from time to time if
Yes, she does.
if she's able to, and we love having her.
I can say about Mez, guys. Mez is I guess, a poster child for what to
Yeah,
do when you're in the network. I mean, she is tremendous. Mez
she's
was
awesome.
10 years in her background. She was 10 years in oil and gas, and then she did a pivot over into she's a big time project manager now.
Yeah.
So anyway, guys, look down there. Hey, Craig, look down there and see that lady and all of that Unity One. That Unity
Mm-hmm.
One is the right orange, isn't it?
It is the right orange. I landed the job
Yay!
because of the orange. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah, well, you've
That's
been there
awesome.
7 years, so it's been a good landing.
Yes,
It's
Foster.
been,
It's
yeah,
so crazy. It's so crazy.
Wow.
It'll be 7 years on February 16th. So just in a couple of weeks, it'll be
there you
7 years. Here, I recently became the vice president. I was
Oh,
director
I'm
of human
scared of you.
resources, but now I'm the vice president of human resources and chief HR officer. So that's my
Yes,
full title.
yes.
Oh my gosh, it's so good to have you on the show,
Now,
Pam.
Thank
Patty's
you
one
so
of those
much.
rare
Pleased to be
HR
here.
leaders that knows talent acquisition. So, yeah, absolutely. Now, that's cool. That orange that almost looks like Clemson orange. Well, I shouldn't say
Foster. You are
Patty,
a
I
hot
tell you,
mess.
we have fun on this show.
You are a hot
This
mess.
could go
Patty,
downhill
Dana,
fast.
I'll tell you a really quick non-recruiting story on Foster. One time we were at this recruiting event up in Alliance, and
Yeah.
I had
oh
mentioned
Lord,
yeah, you remember this, Foster. And so I mentioned that I was having a little get together at my house, and do you know he invited himself? He said, what's your address? And
I'm
when
coming
Foster
over there.
asks you a question, you just answer him. You don't like. You just don't argue, and you just answer. So I gave him my
The
address,
answer is
and
yes.
I'll be darned. He showed up at my front door, and I said, "Well, come on in and meet my friends." And so we had a great time. That was
We
so
had a
Aw,
long
good
ago,
time.
and I've loved him
I
ever since. I said anybody who's gutsy enough to invite themselves to my house for dinner is just fine by me. So
We
yeah,
well,
had
we
we
them
go
out
might
in the
way
just have
back.
to
country
invite
too.
ourselves again.
Uh-huh. It was awesome. And
Anytime.
Patty's husband Jim's a good friend of mine as well.
Yep. Yep.
And so, and the animals and whatever they have
Yeah,
cooked
the
up over
kittens.
there works
All
too.
the
Oh,
kids. We
you
don't we
got
don't have
kittens.
real babies. We got fur babies. They don't talk
Fur
back.
Same
babies.
So
That's
here.
right. Tell us about Unity One, Patty. Tell us what you like about it and why people should be excited about going and check. Y'all go check out Unity One's website and all that stuff.
Yeah.
yep.
Tell us
Yes,
about Unity
please
One,
do.
Patty.
Well, I'd love to do that, Foster. I want to talk a little bit about Unity One. I want to talk a little bit about credit unions because so many people just don't even understand what a credit union is. So
Uh-huh.
we'll start there. Unity One is the oldest credit union here in Texas. We were
Oh
founded in
wow.
1927. So we've been around a while. You and I
Okay.
weren't there then, but
No. God, the orange
and
was a different
so
color orange back then.
so Unity One has been around a long time. We service as what's called a field of membership, and so that kind of translates into a geographical area. So if you live, work, or worship within 10 miles of one of our branches, then you can join Unity One as what's called a member. So we don't have
Oh,
customers here; we have members.
okay.
So think about banks. They have investors and they want a return on their investment, and they're usually traded on the New York Stock Exchange. Whereas credit unions are owned by our members, so our members are our investors. And so you own a little bitty, teeny tiny piece of the credit union when you
That's cool.
join one. And so if you live,
Wow.
work, or worship within 10 miles of our branches, and so that pretty much takes you from about South Denton to about right at North Johnson County, give or take, right south of South Fort Worth, and then from about North Richland Hills to about Lake Worth. So that's kind of a general geographical area that we cover. Credit unions have been around for a really long time,
Yeah.
about the early 20s, kind of founded around the Depression. And it was founded, credit unions were founded, the whole movement was around people helping people. And
Love it.
so
Yep. Yep.
what happened was somebody needed a loan and a bunch of people got together and threw in some cash, made this loan, and boom, credit unions were born. And we take
Wow.
that history, that's our history and how we were we were started, but we take that to this very day very, very seriously. And we are still people helping people. We do a
Uh-huh.
ton of community outreach, and credit unions nationwide support the Children's Miracle Network. So here in Fort Worth, it's Cook Children's,
Oh,
and so
wow.
we help support that dog program. They have that fantastic dog program. So we're raising money throughout the year, and
That's
one of the
cool.
ways we do that here at Unity One is we get to participate in the jeans program. So if you just donate $5 per check, you get to wear jeans on Fridays, and then a Unity One branded shirt. So that's what
That's
I've got on today.
Are
So we're on
they
a
all
casual
orange
day today.
like that?
No, our main color, actually, I'll be honest with you,
Yeah, come on
Foster.
now,
Our
come on, come on.
our main color is purple, but we have,
That's what I'm talking
marketing. We
about.
got secondary colors, which we have a fuchsia and a lime green and orange. So we cover it all. We
Judy
cover it all.
Wardle, did you hear that purple, that TCU purple?
Purple's our primary color. It's our primary color. So, but yeah, so that's a little about Unity One and the credit union movement. There are a bunch of credit unions here, some really, really big ones, and then some smaller ones, and we
Yeah.
kind of fall somewhere in the middle.
You guys
I
sound
love it.
customized. I like that.
Yeah.
It's a up close and relationship type of business. Anyway,
I
when we
know,
talk
I know how
relationship,
you are.
that's what we and and I like that. But you guys, me knowing and having a relationship with
Yeah.
Patty for so long, guys, let me tell you something. You want to talk about? We always talk on off the cuff about somebody that don't play. Patty don't play. If
Yeah.
Patty
No.
stays somewhere except for 7 years, that's something we probably want to look into. And
Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Patty, tell us. There's a couple of things, four things that you guys are looking to hire. Let's talk
We
about it.
are. Yeah, so we have four positions that are open right now, and we kind of are always looking for tellers. I want to talk a little bit about that teller position. Right now, we have a part-time teller position over on the north side at our north side branch. So we are located. That particular branch is located on Main Street, kind of right behind Cooper's Barbecue.
Uh
If you
oh,
know where
Ooh.
that is, Foster.
Yep. Magic
So
word.
yeah,
you got my
yeah.
attention.
Do you see his face freeze?
Yeah.
Oh,
What? Somebody say barbecue. So yeah, it's over across from Cooper's, and so it's our Unity one there. So that particular branch, you have to be bilingual Spanish because we service the community, and that community has a predominant Spanish speaking community right there on the north side,
yes,
and so
yes.
you do have to be bilingual Spanish for that particular position. But my other positions are here at our headquarters, which is located just right behind the Burlington Northern Santa Fe Railroad campus,
Okay,
right here at Western Center and 35W. And
that's right.
so I have three positions here that I'll run through real quick.
Go.
The first one I'm recruiting for right now is a marketing manager. Now, this is going to be a great position, and I talked a lot about our community relations and our community service. So this marketing manager is going to do a lot of that. So be out in the community. So we need somebody who can stand up and speak to large and small groups, can come up with ideation, meaning come up with the concept for some campaigns. This person would need to bring a portfolio for an interview, but absolutely anybody who's got some graphics and or video experience, some design experience, InDesign, Lightroom, and the Adobe suites of design is what we're looking for there. So that's our marketing manager position. And then the third position I'm recruiting for is a contact center manager. Contact center representative. We have a manager. We love her, but we're looking for somebody to serve on her team.
Ms.
And
Manager, we love you.
yes, wherever she is, Cindy, she's probably back there answering the phone. So our contact center is just that. It's when you call in to see what your balance is in your checking account, or you call in to see, if you've had fraud. We've got a lot of fraud. Don't ever give out your numbers, y'all. Don't. No financial
Yes.
institution will ever contact you and ask you for your numbers. They've got your numbers. We've got your numbers. You don't ever give anybody a number when they call. You call them back and say, somebody called me, ask for the number. But anyway, so that's the kind of position that this person we're looking for would be in. It is, it's in our contact center, and it is close quarters, and it's on the phone all day with a headset like I have. Fortunately, I only have talked for an hour with y'all, but this person would be on the phone all day, servicing our membership, here at our corporate office. And the last position I want to talk about real quickly is our member solutions representative. And so the member solution representative is really a collections position. So it's somebody who's on the phone calling somebody up saying, hey, did you remember to pay your bill? Let's work out a plan. How can we help you? Because I talked about we're people helping people, and we do make a lot of loans. We are a financial institution, of course, and so we make a lot of loans, car loans, mortgage loans, things like that. And sometimes people just forget. Truthfully, people just forget, and they just need that phone
We
call to
got
say,
so
hey,
much to keep up
did
with.
you?
My God.
Yes, it happens. Yeah, I've been out of town before and thought, oh my gosh, I forgot to pay, the light bill or whatever it was. And sometimes it's just a straight up forgetfulness because we're all so busy and we're running. So this person would have a little bit of collections experience, be able to, get on the phone and make those calls to remind people to pay their bills. And sometimes they'll, learn that there's situations, somebody may be out of a job, or somebody, their spouse may be out of a job. And so we look for solutions to figure out how we can help that member. It's not just there is a little of that, but to help that member find a solution, because at the end of the day, that's what we want to do, is solve those problems. So those are the 4 positions. So it's the part-time teller at our north side location, our marketing manager here at campus, our member solutions representative, and then our member contact center representative. Those 3 are here at our campus branch. So that's
That
what we're
is
looking for.
wonderful.
Now, and I want to mention one other thing about credit unions and about Unity One specifically. It's a program I'm super proud of it, and as a recruiter, and that is with our partnership with the Birdville ISD, the Birdville Career and Tech Center. It's called the Bechtal, BCTAL. It's the Technology and Applied Learning Center, the Birdville Center for Applied Learning. I'm so sorry, Bechtel folks. I mess it up every single time, but we call it the Bechtel. And so back in our day, back when Foster and I were coming up, Dana, I don't know your
Mesozoic era.
Mesozoic era, yes. It used to be called Votech back in the day.
That's right. Remember that? Yeah.
Remember Votech? Yeah. So some of your listeners, I'm sure, remember Votech, but now it's more of a career services career, or a career preparation school, and it's tied with the high school. So you think cosmetology program, health occupations, auto shop, culinary arts, those kinds of programs. We have a financial program in the Birdville ISD at the Bechtal over kind of on Mid-Cities Boulevard, give or take. And right where Mid-Cities and Reef Snow kind of cross there. And so we love to get the juniors. I love to get the juniors in high school, because I can keep them for 2 years. But we get juniors and seniors. We train them how to be tellers. They are our employee. They work for us, and we train them as part of their school, as part of as a class, on how to be a teller. And then when they graduate from high school, many of them go on to college, and they can go to work for a bank if they want to, or go to work for another credit union. We had a young man who went up to Oklahoma State, walked right in and got a job day one as a freshman in college, because he had 2 years of teller experience the day he showed up on the OSU campus. And so this is a fantastic program. And if I can keep them, I keep them. I've got a couple of folks that I've hired straight out and kept them on board, and then they're going to TCC or UNT and staying as employees of ours. So I'm really super proud of that program over at Bechtal. And if you ever have an opportunity to get somebody on to talk to them about it, it's a great thing.
That is great. One thing I really like about Unity One, in the beginning, you mentioned if you live, work, or worship within 10 miles. And that says a lot about the organization. And so just from the start, the foundation is right. It's exciting to hear what you're doing and how you're sewing back into the community. So,
thank you.
Not only do we focus on bringing on individuals on the second half of the show that are looking for opportunities that we give our gold stamp of approval on, or the Foster's gold stamp, Jobfather stamp of approval, but companies as well, right? And Unity One is definitely one of those companies that would have the Godfather stamp of approval in terms of a quality place to work. the right kind of organization, mentorship, and opportunity. So we are so excited you're here to share about your opportunities, because this would be a phenomenal organization for anyone that has the right background in, around the roles that we just discussed to pursue. So we're really excited that you are here.
Thank you, Dana. And the one thing I wanted to kind of leave a little bit of highlight for, and that is how to apply. So we've talked about. So we've obviously talked about the job. So I don't want to get off here before we talk about how to apply. Now, because we are a financial institution, as you can imagine, we have a lot of firewalls involved and that kind of thing. So any resume submitted needs to be in a PDF. And I'm going to tell you, because Foster knows this, but I spent 4 years of my career training job seekers on how to find a job. So I will tell you, PDF is always the best way, because if you just email that Word document or that Word resume, then it's likely to get kicked by most, especially financial institutions, but larger companies too. So make sure you're saving that in a PDF format. But our website is unityoneHires.org. It's UNITYONEHIRES, unityoneHires.org. So you just go there and just click on the Texas link. And even if you don't see the job posted that you're interested in, that I've mentioned, maybe the member solutions position, just go ahead and apply. Send me your resume. I'll look them over. I look at every single resume that comes through personally myself. So I will, I'll be looking out for that. Yes. Yeah. It's a big job. And recruiting's not my only job. I do the whole HR side too.
I know you got a lot of hats on. Knoxville,
I do.
Tennessee. Oh my goodness.
But UnityOneHires.org, and we were named best places to work twice. So it's a great place, and so we'd love to have all the applicants we can, and see who's going to be a right fit to join our team.
Oh, that's
exciting. Patty, Rex actually is with us. I don't know if you remember Rex Sauer
years ago.
And Rex had a brief live-in stint in Tennessee. So we were always talking about Knoxville and the volunteers and everything. And of course, whenever I say volunteer, Patty Revis has got to come out of that thing.
That's
and
right.
So I love it because Patty has maintained her Tennessee accent.
Oh, yes, I love it too.
I'm very sensitive. I'm a people person, and honestly, I can hear the Tennessee in Patty more than Texas. Now she's been here for a while, but she brought a little bit of orange with her, but we had to burn it up a little bit. But Patty still got that accent. I love it.
I do. It's funny, Foster, whenever I talk to somebody from back home, I've still got lots of friends back in Memphis and back in Knoxville and Nashville. And anytime I talk to somebody, my husband says, "Oh, that tongue gets thicker and thicker every time you talk to somebody." So,
When I go to Waco, it's the same thing.
Yes. Yeah. Well, Foster's from McGregor, so
That's right.
Little
Everybody
McGregor,
y'all know,
Texas.
and there's a contingent of people in McGregor that are listening to us right now. What's up, my Bulldog fans? I'm a Bulldog for life, not a Georgia Bulldog, a McGregor a real Bulldog. And you know what? On the topic of being silly, before we run out of time, Queen Latifah sang a song called Unity, U-N-I-T-Y. Now, you guys may not remember. Everybody don't remember that, but look it up. It's a cool song. And when I see that shirt, it reminds me of Queen Latifah.
Oh, wow.
Oh, Foster.
You know me.
I do. I do.
I'm an older child. That's what I am.
There's
Mary's with us. There's Mary over there.
Somebody has joined us.
Mary's from Tennessee. She's from Tennessee as well. So Patty, you make sure you connect with you and Mary connect, because honestly, Mary, Patty is one of those people that I would have eventually suggested that you connect with and be on the radar of, because Patty is what we call good people.
Cool.
I love me some Patty Revis. Yep. I love me some Patty Revis.
I love you too, Foster.
Music. So we are ready to go to break, and we'll be back in just a few minutes with the second half of our show.
That's right.
Thank you.
Thanks, Patty.
Thanks, y'all. Thanks,
Patty.
Bye-bye.
UNITY
Solution Center for you, a family member, or a loved one suffering with diabetes. If you have lost your provider, or if you need a provider for diabetic supplies, you may qualify to receive your diabetic testing supplies now with little or no out-of-pocket cost, regardless of your age. All you need is Medicare or private insurance to be potentially eligible. Call the Diabetes Solution Center right now for details. Just takes a couple of minutes. Our friendly, knowledgeable agents will give you free, no-obligation information, handle all the insurance paperwork, and make sure your supplies are delivered directly to your door for free.
Call U.S. Medical Supply 24 hours a day. 800-597-9323. 800-597-9323. 800-597-9323. Call right now. 800-597-9323.
Hey, there's something you forgot to do. It sure is hot. Are you sweating like a dog? Wait, what? Dogs don't sweat. Oh no, you forgot to get your window tinted. Whether it's the kitchen window that sits in the sun for the hottest part of the day, or you just got new wheels, call Sharp Window Tinting in Burleson. 817-615-9379, or look them up on the web, sharpwindowtint.com.
Fast Track Student Loans can get your student loans out of default, stop any wage garnishments, stop collection calls, and stop seizure of your tax refund. Give yourself a break. Stop the stress and get your student loan payments down to as little as $25 a month based on what you can afford to pay. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395.
Joco Community Radio. Listen live at tunein.com.
Welcome back, Jobfather Nation, to the second half of the Jobfather. We are so excited to have you here this Friday. As you noticed, we had a wonderful time speaking with and learning about phenomenal opportunities with Patty, and we have got a jam-packed, exciting second half of this show. Foster, tell us a little bit about what's going to happen the second half.
Well, I'm real excited. You guys know how I am. Y'all call me the Jobfather for some reason or other. I don't know. But Mary Mondie is with us. Eminem, Mary Mondie. And Mary is familiar with that Knoxville orange that Patty's got on her shirt over there. And we've talked about that. And guys, it's just really, really important that we get to know people and know the idiosyncrasies and the little bitty things that are cool about people. Because when we hire people, guys, this is not, and I will repeat, this hiring process, which Mary is looking for a job. She's ready to go right now, y'all. I want you companies to meet Mary. She's a project manager. Oh, my God, does she have all those acronyms behind her name, Patty? We have a guy named David Woods that I'm going to introduce you to, Mary, because you might be the very project manager that he's looking for. I don't know, but that's what's cool about this whole thing. And guys, Mary, as I said, she's looking for a job. She is a PMP. Now, Mary, what is LSSGB?
Lean Six Sigma Green Belt.
Lean Six, I should have known that.
Wow, she's got your green belt. That's great. That is great.
And Mary, if y'all look at Mary's LinkedIn profile, she's a PSM, she's a CSM.
Yeah.
What is CSPO, Mary?
COVID. It's IT government. Yeah. So I was awarded the opportunity to go through workforce, and I went through computer mines this past year. And I said I was going to take time to develop me because I always wanted to go back and take courses.
Yes.
But due to budget, project deadlines, and certain things, I decided to take this time when I got laid off to go back and do some work on me.
That is amazing. That just speaks to your character and why you have the Godfather stamp of approval.
Oh yeah, she did. When I first met Mary's personality, it's like Patty's and mine and Dana's. So you automatically got the Jobfather seal of approval there. And guys, corporations, she's also ITIL certified. What it was the
Oh,
ITSM? Is that what the ITIL thing
Yeah,
is?
that's the institute that I got my ITIL
okay.
certification from.
Yeah. So, Mary, where do you live?
I live in Farmers Branch,
Farmers Branch. So
Texas.
Well,
a
she's
lot
close to
of you
me.
corporations, yeah, she's equidistant to a lot of companies. She can work over in that Frisco, Plano area. She can Fort Worth might be a little bit far, but Mary can move if she need to, y'all.
Yeah.
Yes, it
But
need to be.
with all of Mary's background, you guys, there are a number of places, especially in project management, that she can be applied. And so I wanted to bring Mary on so you guys could meet her today. Now, Mary, tell us a little bit about what interests you. What directions would you be excited in going in?
Well, I have a very strong QA background.
Okay.
And then I had worked for two startup companies, got bought out by other major corporations. And when you work for smaller startup company, you was able to do a lot more. You was able to, sit in design session. You sat in meetings with the stakeholders. You you did the implementation part of it. So your hand was in every part of the project from birth to implementation. And I had always enjoyed that. And so when I was laid off, I decided I always wanted to be a project manager, and I had the several background in that. And I said make people take me seriously, let me go get my certification, because a lot of time people don't understand that QA, especially when you've been over projects and certain things, that applies to the same thing. You oversee everything, you manage everything, you collaborate with the development team, you collaborate with the user. So I thought that would be a good way to finalize my career, is to go into project management.
Yeah. Craig
Well, Foster,
Fry,
I'm gonna tell you one thing real quick.
tell
I
me.
know I've known a lot of project managers, and I'm gonna tell you, I took an SPHR exam, and it was very, very, very
Oh
hard.
my God, I
But
know.
that PMP and project management test, that is something else.
That ain't no
So
joke.
if Miss Mary has taken the time to get that certification, that's a big deal. That's not a little feat. That's a huge thing. That's a studying, a sacrifice, and just it's a lot. So for those of you who don't know what a green belt is, or what a PMP is, those are a a certified project manager. That's a huge, huge deal. That's a huge, and you must be majorly smart, Miss Mary. That's for sure.
I felt like I was back in college. Trust me.
Tennessee State, right?
Tennessee State University.
Yes, right. That's right. That's right.
Is that in where is that?
Nashville.
That's in
That's
Nashville.
in Nashville.
Uh-huh. I love it. Y'all know
Yeah,
I get into that college thing now. College football is a little bit we got to wait a few months to get back to college football, but we're going to be talking about it anyway. So guys, Mary, you with all of those certifications, here's what I've noticed. Hiring managers that have PMPs can understand what Patty just said. And I hope you guys caught the energy of what Patty just said about those certifications. Those certifications, guys, are important because there's a lot of hiring managers out there that have gone through that process.
Yeah.
And when you go through that process, you can appreciate it. Does that make you better than everybody else? Well, maybe not according to the application, but we are making that human connection with these jobs. Guys, we are a little too, I know I'm preaching, but we're a little too mechanical in our job search. Guys, when we're hiring people. Don't you want to know who you hire?
That's so true. It can impact so many aspects of the corporate culture.
Craig Fry, who's one of our listeners right now, he just chimed in again. Craig Fry asked a question earlier about, I think, Craig, you were asking about quality type of folks, and Mary's been involved in quality. So at the very least, I think you guys should link in. LinkedIn is our little world over here.
It is.
Yeah.
But
I'll make sure I connect with him.
Yeah. Craig Fry. Well, you see him right there. He's in the chat.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and it's very important. I totally drank everything that Patty just told us about those certifications.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like it. Patty, you
They're
remember
big.
probably about 10 years ago, it wasn't so important, and then everybody started getting PMP, and it changed the whole face of everything.
Yes, it's kind of it's a level of proficiency that's just required in that field. And
Yeah.
so, one of the things I would tell job seekers all the time is there is a difference between a profession and an industry. And so the profession is what you do, and the industry is where you do it, or where you do it in, or what you do it in.
Uh-huh.
And so a lot of people say, well, I'm a PMP. Well, that kind of thing translates just like in human resources. It translates to all industries. And so
Yeah,
I'm
it
in the
does.
credit union industry, and this is where I'll finish out my tenured career. But, for Mary, her skills are transferable. And so the industry is not as important as that profession that she's in and the profession she's chosen.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
That's absolutely right. I like what Mez said. Mez made a comment because Mez has been around. Mez is a project manager. She said that's a wicked exam,
Yeah.
guys. And
Mhm.
there are classes, there are things that you can take, whole programs that you
Yep.
can take to prepare you for
Yeah.
that exam. So that ought to let you know a little bit of the importance of that's going on.
Yes.
So,
And yes, and it was
Mary,
a perfect opportunity. So I felt that during this time, if I don't invest in it now, I would never get a chance to invest in it
uh-huh,
again, because when you take on a new job, you're trying to learn the job, and you're trying to, meet the
Yeah.
deadlines. And the older you get, you go back and like, oh God, I got to study again. And
But there's truth to that.
yeah, it is.
I got to read all this again and then try to maintain, the job too. So I just
Yeah,
took it
yeah,
that I
yeah.
thought it was been a perfect time. And I like the way God opened the door to allow me to do that during this season. So
There you go.
sometime when God opened that door, you just have to take advantage of it and apply yourself.
Yep, that's why he's opening the door for you to walk through it. That's it right there.
So true.
Uh-huh. So guys, I want to reiterate, Mary is available right now. You know, when I say available, what I like about that word when I use it is there is not a 2 week or 3 week notice that they have to put in. So if you guys want to hire Mary, she's ready to go. She can be in that seat tomorrow. Now I know y'all corporations don't move that fast, but
Yeah.
you'll be surprised what we can do. But Mary's ready to go. And I think that adds to a job. And personally, I think that adds to when Dana and I are looking through and we are querying and doing the things that we do to find job seekers, uh, we have an immediate need. Now, that person that is qualified for that job and is available is probably going to be one of the first people that Dana and I and Patty are going to submit. So
Mhm.
it's something to think about. This show is here to teach you guys about how we think, how recruiters, hiring managers. I have been both, and Patty has been both.
Oh,
You know,
yes. I've been
yeah,
a job seeker and a recruiter
exactly,
and unemployed and, not sure about my future for sure.
exactly.
Yeah, we
And
all have.
so,
Yeah.
yeah, and so Mary Mondie, guys, Mondie. Uh, Look Mary up on LinkedIn, connect with her. If you're a job seeker and you would like to contact Mary and talk to her about PMP kind of stuff, project management, you might know somebody that is looking to hire a project manager. You know what? You definitely want to have a conversation with Mary. She's available, ready to go. But I can tell you something about Mary, guys. Mary has that personality. She loves to help people. Mary is good peoples. That's what me and Patty like to say. Mary, good peoples. And
Yeah.
if you guys engage with Mary, you will understand what I'm talking about. But I think you guys ought to take a gander at hiring Mary. Give her a chance. Let's talk about stuff. That's why Mary is here on the show. Mary, is there any other particular opportunities that you are looking for? What interests Mary? What type of titles interest Mary that cause you to spend a little time checking that job out? What gets your attention?
I think most of the thing that get me is to the fact that I can apply everything that I have done over the years, and
Hmm.
I can apply it to that particular job. I think when you read the titles, project management, or some people call it project coordinator or whatever, I go into the job description to see what the actual job is asking for.
Okay.
And then I look at it, then I learn something from attending a different focus group, that I go research that company, because right now culture is very important to me. Collaboration is very important to me. Teamwork is very important to me. So I've begun to learn to read more into the job description, because that's what y'all have taught us to do. Like, what are they really looking for, in that job? And so I try to catch, teamwork. When I see a lot of conflict management, I'd be like, okay, what's really going on there?
What's really happening?
What are you stepping into? But I just, to a place now, I just wanted to be part of a family, because I think that's what some things are missing now, because you go there, you're there every day. Where you go in there 2 or 3 times, you're working with somebody for 8 hours a day, and you want to feel a connection. You want to be able to go to lunch with somebody. You want to be able, then even if there's a conflict, you can be able to have conflict, grow in that conflict, and still become best friends.
Yes.
That's me, Patty
Yes.
and Dana right there. Yep.
That is ideal and healthy. Yes.
I think the things that I'm learning in this process of interviewing is that it's like people ghost you. You have the interview and then you don't hear anything, or it'd be a while for you hear anything. So you move on to something else. And I think the other part of it is the length of interviews. And then, people want you to, like, you taking a test again. I took a test for a whole year in different classes. And for you to ask me again.
Exactly. That mechanical thing, there it is.
To take something else.
Sorry,
Go
keep
ahead,
going.
Dana.
So I think the other part of it is sometimes the question, or when they want you to take a test, I don't know your culture. So when you're working with a professor for a while, you get to think the way he thinks, or you think the way he thinks, and you know how to answer him. But when you give me a flat out test, and then there's no real instruction about it, I don't know how to answer that, because I know how to write a database script. I'm not the best database scripts, because I don't have to do that. But I think sometimes when people ask you to demonstrate certain things, there need to be a little bit more consistency with it, because you don't know what the expectation, and they're not clear, and they're like, well, how would you answer that? And you'd be like, well, can you give me a little bit more information? So I think that's the frustrating part about this interviewing process now.
Yeah.
It has changed.
I was going to ask, we're so excited to have you here. When you think about your next stop, what types of positions are you open to in terms of, titles and bandwidth, or capacity, or scope of role, I guess is what I'm asking. And, are there certain industries that you're preferring, or that, share a little bit about that for our listeners?
Well, interesting that all the companies I have worked with for the last, 15 years, 20 years, has been related to healthcare somehow.
Okay.
They're healthcare related, where we provide software, or we did the insurance part of it. It was more IT on the healthcare part of it. So, and then I also have an earlier background in manufacturing. So I'm well versed in, in certain areas and different things. I think last week somebody asked me about construction. I had to be honest, like, okay, I really don't know anything about construction, but if it's managing certain things, I can get us there. If meeting a deadline, I will work to it. But if they ask me about tools, that's going to be can't help you,
Well,
Rex has got a good question over there, Dana. You see Rex's question for Mary? Can you see it?
Yeah.
It says, how is AI affecting the business analytics or business intelligence in the project management function?
Great question.
Rex is one of those smart guys.
That's
His
a very good
questions are
question.
always, oh my God, but that's a good question. Awesome.
Well, I think, more people looking for data and looking for how they can use AI into getting to solutions of their problems. And, so that's why I try to stay well-rounded and abreast of what's going on in that area. Because a lot of people looking at, even when you use your smartphone now, you use your thumb or your eye or your face to,
well, that's
get into that.
You can't get in the room now.
That's scary.
So I think that's becoming more aware of that, and people trying to incorporate those solutions into their applications. And and I think people have to learn to put money towards that. You got to stay abreast of your technology and what's going on in the industry.
Boy, isn't that the truth?
Well, and you can say that thinking about AI, so many companies are using AI for recruiting now.
Yes.
So it's really important when you're doing your resume or anything else, or even if you're interviewing. There's a company out of Arizona that they do the interview, and you are doing an interview with an AI, and so it's important to be able to use that language, that simple language, really, that and clear. And we joked about my accent, but there are a lot of times, speech to voice or voice to text or whatever, it doesn't understand me. So
that's true.
Make sure that if you're working on an AI interview, or if you're preparing your resume for an AI review, make sure that you're using the language that particular job will require, that AI has been programmed to pick up on.
Patty, I'm glad you said that. I'm gonna tell you again. I say this at South Lake Focus Group and Frisco Connect a lot, guys. We have to understand. We have to answer when we're in job search. It is not about us. It is about that company's need. Now we have to prove as the best we can on that resume, and it's not easy to do all the time, that we have the experience in those areas that look the most important to that company and the way they put it out on that job description. Then we will hopefully have an opportunity to talk to a Patty and get into a little bit more detail about what it is about the company, where they've been. There's questions, there's very probing questions, guys, that we should ask as job seekers to kind of figure out what we're getting ourselves into. Dana and I talk about that all the time.
Yes, we do.
Every company is not for you, honestly.
Yeah.
And so, Rex, I appreciate that AI question. It is very, very, very dominant now.
Yeah,
and insightful for sure. AI is kind of taking over in a scary way.
I know. Yeah, we're getting
the end
more and more.
times.
Yeah,
Just kidding.
we're people.
Yeah, put some lotion on your
we are
finger.
People. We're people out here. We're not machines. We're people.
That's right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
When I buy a car, I test drive a car. I don't test drive a person. My God.
No, yeah.
Well, I don't know.
Well, sometimes you test drive that salesperson. It's like
Yeah,
that is true. Yes.
Because if you don't treat me like I'm the person buying it, it's like I'm done talking to you. Can you give me somebody?
Exactly.
Craig Fry says, how do you get past the ATS? Well, Craig, you get past the ATS by doing exactly what we're talking about, is answering those questions in the context of which the company is looking to hire someone. They will, believe me, when you read a job description, unless it's one of those old 500-year-old DOD job descriptions, you will be able to figure out what that company does and why they are looking for what they're looking for in that job description. Guys, it's not that difficult. We're going to spend some more time on job descriptions because a lot of you guys are spraying and praying.
Mary, one of the worst things you can do is spray. It's okay to pray. That's a great thing. But don't pray and pray together. No,
if you spray, that prayer ain't going to help you too much.
No, exactly. That's said way better than I can. Always pray, just don't spray.
Don't spray. And I understand
like
not having a job. I understand that is a critical thing, and you've got that pressure on you to go get that job. I understand that. Everybody understands that. But guys, we apply for a lot of jobs, and Patty has seen this. We apply for a lot of jobs, and we're not a fit for the job. Why are you applying for this job? And people like Patty Dana and I will remember certain names. So
I'm glad you said that, Foster, because I'm going to tell you a little quick story about that. I was working, this has been about 4 jobs ago now, but I was down the stockyards, director of sales down at Stockyard Station, and I was interviewing for a salesperson. Yeah, you remember those days. So I was interviewing a young man for a sales, and the whole time I'm thinking, you are not right for that sales position, but you are perfect for this, for basically the operations director. But I had there was somebody in that spot, and about a week before our peak time, our busiest time in December, she walked in and put in her resignation with no notice. And do you know, I'd remembered that guy from like 8 months ago, and so I fished out you recruiters keep them all back, especially in those days. It was nothing but paper, and I fished, and I remembered enough about him that that I could find his resume and identify it. And I called him up and I said, "Do you remember me?" He's like, "No." And I said, "Why, blah, 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 blah." He goes, "Oh, yeah, I kind of remember you." And so I called him in, hired him on the spot because I had remembered him and I knew he was with me for 4 years. And so, the thing about it is when you're talking to these hiring managers as a job seeker, you don't know what they've also got in their pipeline. You don't know what rec is coming up, like WRECK, but you don't know what kind of rec is coming down the pipe. You don't know. And they're going to remember you like I remembered Mike Alford. The end of that story was I wound up being the matron of honor in their wedding. And I wound up hiring him, and then I was the matron of honor in his wedding because I introduced him to his wife. Now they've been married 20-some years, I guess. So anyway, you just never know, y'all. Y'all just know you don't know. So the impression you make on that hiring manager or that recruiter, just because the job isn't right or you're in the interview thinking, this isn't going good, don't blow it in the middle because you do not know what they've got coming.
I am so thankful that you shared this example because through my opportunities to speak to the Job Help Network, thank you, Foster, for blessing me with those opportunities. One of the biggest things I tried to get across to job seekers when I would do sessions on interview coaching would be that you don't know how you're going to impact or what you're going to bring to the day of the interviewer. So it's a psychological approach to the interview. Instead of worrying about everything, think about how you might be able to bless their day, how you might be able to be a positive light in their day. And if you're a positive light, you're going to and you're prepared, you're going to interview a lot better. You're going to be a lot more natural and less, automated in your answers.
Yes.
And
that's practiced.
Yeah. And you just don't know how you might impact them to where you're leaving a positive footprint. And in this example, he left a good footprint. You were able to find him and the relationship continued to bloom. Yep. And so it's just
to this day, we're friends.
To this day. That's amazing.
Guys, when we're going in and Mary Mondie, guys, Mondie, this is her part of the show. We're getting all fired up, but that's why I want to have Patty on the show.
Sorry, Mary.
I will have.
You're fine. I like hearing you.
But Mary is looking for a job. Y'all need to hire Mary. Quit playing. Okay, come on now. So, so what I am enjoying is job seekers. Pay attention to what you see, even if you're interviewing on a Zoom screen. Look around and see if there's something that you can contact and see that's important with the person that you're interviewing. So if you're interviewing with Patty, if you see something that says UT on there, it's not University of Texas, y'all, it's Tennessee, because that orange is too bright for Texas. And if you can connect, guys, and especially folks that are our age, you can connect with something. Talk about something of interest to Patty. She will remember you. Now, everybody doesn't have a brain like me, Dan, and Patty, but you know what? They will remember those things that you connect on. And so if that job sounds good to you, if you're excited about that job, pay attention to these things and make that relationship, make that connection. Oh, I hear music.
Good luck, Mary. Good luck, Mary. We're rooting for you.
Thank you so much, Patty.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great week.
Thanks.
Bye, y'all.
From Burleson to Venus and Grandview to Godley, this is the voice of Johnson County. JOCO Community Radio.
Let's be honest. Wheel